My name is Kent Miguel, and today I am going to talk about the role technology plays on the issue of privacy and security. This is the outline of my presentation. First, we're going to talk about the meaning behind digital footprint, data mining, the NSA scandal, and how it played to the global stage, its social implications, the ethical issues behind it, and we're going to come up with a conclusion. The great question, security over privacy or privacy over security? This issue is definitely one of the most controversial topics in modern history, especially as we enter the technological age where everything can be quantified and monitored, whether it is your browser history, purchasing history, travel history, or even posts you've shared on your social media over the years. To better understand this issue, let's explore the meaning behind digital footprint. It is all about your digital footprint. What is digital footprint? Its meaning is any information one could gather from a person's online activity. Let's use my friend's Bob daily routine, for example. As soon as Bob wakes up in the morning, he checks his social media, which takes him about 30 minutes liking pictures on Instagram and sharing posts on Facebook. He then uses his GPS to avoid traffic and get to work early. While at work, Bob casually checks his phone to text and sends his friends text messages and memes and pictures and all that. After work, he goes out to have some fun. He uses his credit card to buy stuff. While dancing at a club or playing bowling, Bob uses his social media to document his activities. After a night of fun, he orders an Uber and calls it a night. Now, you can see that we could pretty much see and figure out how Bob spends his money and time because he left his digital footprint on pretty much every activity he's done on that day. This example shows just how much information we are giving away without knowing it. After leaving a digital trail, what can a person do with all these information? Someone could say, whatever, it's fine, it's no big deal, but in reality, it is bigger than just browsing Facebook or purchasing stuff online when it comes to the issues behind data mining. What is data mining? Generally, data mining is the process of analyzing from different perspectives and summarizing it into useful information. Data mining is primarily used today by companies with a strong consumer focus like retail, financial, communication, marketing organizations. For example, when you go to Amazon, when you buy stuff, it automatically suggests other stuff that's related to what you bought. Another use of data mining, and perhaps the most controversial one, and still is, being utilized by the NSA. The majority of the world was first introduced to the concept of data mining after Edward Snowden, a government operative, revealed that the US government was spying on its citizens by collecting phone metadata records of every Verizon customer, which is millions of Americans. The scandal exposed an NSA surveillance effort called PRISM, which is an extremely sophisticated program which involves the collection of digital photos, stored data, file transfers, emails, chats, videos, video conferencing from nine of the most of the biggest internet companies. U.S. officials say that by using this technology, it helped them catch Khalid Ozani, who was plotting to blow up the New York Stock Exchange. Um, how how did this issue play on the global stage? Unsurprisingly, this scandal sparked a global debate focusing on privacy versus national security. Protest and public outcry regarding Parliament's abuse of power broke out in the UK. In Germany, Germans became even more concerned about the government's ability to protect their personal data. In India, the government is currently trying to implement measures to protect private information of its citizens, while in Canada, it was actually revealed that the Canadian government is still doing the same thing the NSA did, but a majority of the Canadians, which is about 62%, are fine with the surveillance if it means stopping any kind of terrorist threats. However, here at home, the issue caused a major uproar. Americans have long been divided about their views regarding privacy and security when it comes to the United States anti-terror policy. Studies show that a majority of Americans are in favor of surveillance. For example, a study conducted by the PEW Research Center since the 9/11 terrorist attacks have generally shown that in the periods when high-profile cases related to privacy versus security first arise, majorities of adults favor a security-first approach to this kind of issues, while at the same time urging that dramatic sacrifices on civil liberties be avoided. But many draw the line at deep interventions into their personal lives. It should be noted that surveys have also found that people's immediate concerns about security can subside over time. Right after the Snowden revelations in June 2013, another research conducted by the same company found that 48% of Americans approved of the government's collection of telephone and internet data as part of anti-terrorism efforts. But by January of 2014, this approval rating dropped to 40%. And many Americans continue to express concern about government surveillance program. One consistent finding about security versus personal privacy is that people's answers depend on the context of the situation. People are comfortable with giving out information if they know where their information is going. Let's talk about the core of the issue, which is ethics. I definitely understand the role that the government plays when it comes to the national security. It is paramount above other issues, and I'm afraid that the surveillance has become a necessity to ensure safety because no matter what we do, technology is always improving. It is constantly evolving to become more sophisticated, smarter, and more dangerous than its previous version. And we know that bad people will always get their hands on this technology and bad things will always happen. But I also understand that the reason behind surveillance can become blurry and it can transform into profiling, which I believe is unethical. And agreeing to national surveillance means giving up some of your privacy rights as a citizen. I think you could ask yourself this question to come up with a conclusion. Do you want to be safe? I think is a good question. Um, I'm all for security over privacy, but the government should not be doing it behind your back. If they want to listen to our phone calls, then they should issue a warrant, and I would gladly comply if it means saving lives. And these are my sources.